Imagine being one of the Premier League's all-time top scorers, a player who shattered records, led his team to multiple trophies, and consistently delivered season after season. Yet, despite these monumental achievements, you're still not given the respect you deserve. Well, you can chat with friends or go online to have a conversation about the best Premier League players of all time, or even in the modern era. You hear Cristiano Ronaldo, Kevin De Bruyne, Thierry Henry, and even Eden Hazard. But how many times do you hear Mo Salah? This is the story of Mohamed Salah, an underrated legend beating a goal machine to the Premier League Golden Boot at 32. Salah has been nothing short of sensational since his return to the Premier League in 2017. His journey from a Chelsea outcast to a Liverpool legend is a testament to his resilience, skill, and unwavering determination. But alongside the accolades and goals, there's been a persistent undercurrent of doubt, criticism, and at times blatant disrespect. Today, we delve deep into Salah's illustrious career, examining his unparalleled achievements and exploring why, despite his contributions, he remains one of the Premier League's most disrespected players. Mo Salah's journey began in the small Egyptian village of Nagreg, where his passion for football was evident from an early age. His dream was so powerful that at just 14, he would commute 5 hours daily, often transferring 4 or 5 buses just to train to Al Malkaloun Academy in Cairo. He would leave home before midday to get to training and return well past midnight sometimes, trapped in a cycle of endless travel, training, and fatigue. But no matter how grueling the journey became, his determination never wavered. Salah's grueling sacrifice paid off as he was eventually spotted by head coach Mohamed Radwan, who promoted him to the first team to become the youngest player to debut in the Egyptian Premier League. From the moment he stepped onto the pitch, his coaches knew they had something special on their hands. His pace, technical skill, and hunger to improve were undeniable. But it was not just his physical ability that set him apart, but his mentality. Salah understood that mental resilience was just as important as physical training. Reflecting on his discipline, he said,
"The work mentally is much more difficult than you work physically. I work in the gym almost every day, 1.5 hours. Sometimes I go home, most of the time I go home, I work again. But it's so hard to keep working in your mental thing 15 minutes every day. It's so hard."
That mindset, built through years of relentless hard work, would eventually transform him into one of the best players in the world. Salah began his career as a left back, but his natural flair for dribbling and his instincts for getting into goal-scoring positions made it impossible to keep him in defense. His ability to carry the ball from deep, weaving past defenders until he was face-to-face with the goalkeeper convinced his coaches to push him further up the pitch. That decision changed everything. Salah transformed into a relentless goal machine. His obsession with scoring set him apart from everyone else. After one match where his team won 4-0, instead of celebrating with his teammates, he sat in the dressing room in tears, not of joy, but because he hadn't found the back of the net himself. Even as a teenager, Salah wasn't content with simply being part of the team. He had an unstoppable drive to be the best. In March 2012, during a friendly between Egypt's U23 team and Swiss club FC Basel, Salah came on after halftime and seized his moment. He scored twice, impressing Basel's scouts so much that they invited him for a trial. A few weeks later, he signed a contract, marking the start of his European journey. However, replacing Basel's star Xherdan Shaqiri brought immediate pressure, and Salah initially struggled to meet expectations. But with relentless effort, he found his rhythm, scoring crucial goals in both the Swiss League and Europe. His standout performances, including a goal against Chelsea in the Europa League semi-finals, put him on the radar of top clubs. By January 2014, Salah had netted 21 goals in 95 games, helping Basel win the Swiss Super League. Chelsea signed him for £11 million, and under Jose Mourinho, it seemed like the perfect setup. But the reality was different. Salah struggled for game time in a squad packed with attacking talent like Eden Hazard, Willian, and Oscar. Despite brief moments of brilliance, he'd never been given a real chance to prove himself. His initial stint in the Premier League with Chelsea was brief and underwhelming, leading many to label him a flop. However, his move to AS Roma ignited his career, and Liverpool saw the potential that others had overlooked, signing him for £34.3 million in 2017. Since joining the Reds, Salah's impact has been profound. In his debut season, 2017-18, Salah scored 32 Premier League goals in 36 games, setting a new record for the most goals in a 38-game season. Over subsequent seasons, he maintained his high standards, becoming the first player in Liverpool's history to score at least 20 goals across all competitions in 7 consecutive seasons. As of February 2025, Salah has netted 182 Premier League goals and 86 assists, placing him 6th on the all-time scorers list and surpassing legends like Thierry Henry and Frank Lampard. Salah's contributions have been pivotal in Liverpool's resurgence as a dominant force in both English and European football. In the 1920 season, Salah played a crucial role in ending Liverpool's 30-year league title drought. He was instrumental in Liverpool's 18-19 Champions League triumph, scoring key goals throughout the campaign. Beyond these, Salah's helped Liverpool secure the FA Cup, EFL Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and FIFA Club World Cup, completing a comprehensive trophy collection. Salah's individual accolades further highlight his incredible impact on the game. He's won the Premier League Golden Boot 3 times, 17-18, 18-19, and 2022, showcasing his relentless goal-scoring ability. His brilliance on the pitch has also earned him the prestigious PFA Players Player of the Year award twice in 2017-18 and 21-22. Recognized as one of Africa's greatest ever talents, he was named African Footballer of the Year in 2017 and 2018. This season, he's in outstanding form and is on track to beat Erling Haaland, the goal-scoring machine, for what will be his 4th Premier League Golden Boot, an achievement that would see him equal Thierry Henry's record. He has been directly involved in 41 goals, 25 goals, and 16 assists in just 27 Premier League appearances, averaging a goal contribution every 58.4 minutes, the best in the league. He recently became the first player in Prem history to record double figures in both goals and assists before Christmas, showcasing his dual threat as a scorer and creator. Salah scored 20 or more goals in 5 different Premier League seasons, a feat achieved by only a select few, including legends like Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry. With his performances reaching new heights, he also emerges as a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or this year. Despite these achievements, Salah's often found himself at the center of unwanted criticism and outright disrespect. In the 23-24 season, despite scoring 25 goals in all competitions, Salah was notably omitted from the 30-man Ballon d'Or shortlist, a decision that baffled many fans and pundits. Arsenal legend Robert Pires said this about the Ballon d'Or shortlist: Mohamed Salah is the best player in the Premier League. He's maintained his level for many years, playing different roles, scoring goals, and providing assists. Salah was treated unfairly by being left out of the Ballon d'Or list. In December 2024, Alexander Isak was awarded the Premier League Player of the Month after an outstanding run, scoring 8 goals and 2 assists in 6 matches. During that same period, Mo Salah delivered an even more remarkable performance, recording 7 goals and 7 assists in 6 games, breaking the record for the most goal contributions in a single month in Premier League history. Despite this historic achievement, Salah was overlooked for the award, sparking widespread debate on social media about the criteria for such honors and reigniting discussions about the continued undervaluing of his achievements. Salah's contract situation with Liverpool has also raised concerns about the club's treatment of one of its most pivotal players. In a candid interview, Salah expressed his frustration, revealing that he had not received any contract offers from the club, stating, "There is no progress there. We are far away from any progress." This lack of initiative from Liverpool's management was perceived by many as a sign of disrespect towards a player who has consistently delivered exceptional performances. Pundits have at times questioned his form and commitment. Notably, former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher labeled Salah selfish for expressing frustration over his contract situation. Other pundits have downplayed his influence, suggesting that his success is merely a product of Liverpool's system rather than individual brilliance. Troy Deeney, ex-Watford striker and England international, had this to say, speaking about Mo Salah: "My argument has always been that I just don't think he's world class. If I was asking my kids who want to be forwards, I would be saying I would want them to look like what Vinicius Jr. does as opposed to Mohamed Salah." An incredibly harsh judgment from Deeney, who scored 47 goals and claimed 20 assists in 165 Prem appearances. Simon Jordan on TalkSport also labeled Salah overrated. But why does Salah get so much disrespect? Well, I think the underestimation of African football in its premier tournament, the Africa Cup of Nations, has contributed to the undervaluation of African players like Mohamed Salah. Jurgen Klopp, who once called the AFCON a little tournament in Africa. In 2022, Napoli's president, Aurelio De Laurentiis, declared that the club would no longer sign African players unless they agreed to forego participation in the Africa Cup of Nations. This bias was again recently highlighted during a Sky Sports discussion, where pundit Jamie Carragher suggested that Salah's participation with Egypt in AFCON might hinder his chances of winning the Ballon d'Or. Carragher stated that Salah is probably not playing in the major tournament, implying that AFCON lacks the prestige of competitions like the Euros or the Copa America. This perspective was immediately challenged by fellow analysts. Micah Richards interjected, emphasizing AFCON is a major tournament. Daniel Sturridge concurred, asserting that AFCON holds the same significance as the Euros or Copa America. The controversy extended beyond the studio. Rio Ferdinand also weighed in, describing Carragher's viewpoint as ignorant. Ferdinand highlighted the substantial contributions of African players to global football and advocated for greater respect toward AFCON and African players. This incident reflects a broader issue where African football achievements are often undervalued in global discussions. Such biases can lead to players like Mohamed Salah not receiving the full recognition they deserve, despite their exceptional performances and contributions on both club and international stages. Edward Mendy's omission from the Ballon d'Or shortlist in 2020 after a stellar debut season for Chelsea further highlights this bias. In an interview, he openly questioned the situation. "If I had played for France instead of Senegal, would we even be having this debate? African players often have to achieve twice as much as their counterparts just to receive the same level of respect and acknowledgement." Beyond the critics, many within the football community recognize Salah's exceptional talents and achievements. His journey from a young boy in Egypt to a global football icon is nothing short of inspirational. Yet despite his consistent excellence, he remains one of the most disrespected players in the Premier League. It's time to recognize and appreciate the brilliance of the Egyptian king, Mo Salah.